Welcome to the very first edition of Super Saturday, a college game day special, as you can see on your screen. Of course, this is still Sports Central Podcast, but it is Super Saturday, just a different name. Today it's going to be all about college game day. It's all about college football. I have a list of games ready and prepared. Well, actually not ready and prepared, they're coming up right now. I'll go ahead and tell you all about games I currently know about right now. Auburn and Tennessee just kicked off. It is 0-0. Let me just pull up the rest of the games real quick. College football games today. I couldn't think of what to say. I was like, do I say, Super Saturday?
Currently, Tennessee is tied with Auburn 0-0 in the first quarter. Minnesota is tied with Ohio State 0-0 in the first quarter. Florida is tied with Vanderbilt 0-0 in the first quarter. For other games, try asking about a particular team.
There we go. Those three games are tied 0-0 because they just started. I'm very excited about this this new idea about Super Saturday. I hope it flourishes, you know? I hope this does good like the podcast has been doing. The podcast has been doing great. I know it's only about like 20-something views. But listen, when I started this thing, I thought, you know what? It's going to turn out like anything else that I've tried to do. It's going to end up going in the dirt. It's going to be terrible. It's just not going to be good. And then did great. You know, beyond my expectations. And, you know, I expect sometime soon that we can get, who knows, maybe 50 to 100 views, 100 listeners. That would be special. I would love that. Of course, there are more games going on today. It's not just Ohio State, Minnesota, Vanderbilt, Tennessee, and Florida. And no, not Vanderbilt, Auburn, Tennessee, and Vanderbilt, and Florida. You know, there's more than that, so I'm trying to get that to come up right now, but the device is being a little bit difficult. Okay, here we are. So, yesterday, 23 Southern Florida beat Tulsa 25-24. Tennessee is trailing to Auburn 6-0 right now. And it's still 0-0 in the Ohio State-Minnesota game. Even though I said today's going to be all about college football, I do have one thing to say about the Major League Baseball playoffs. Okay, it's 7-0 now. Auburn, Tennessee, 7-0. But, I do have one thing to say about the Major League Baseball playoffs. I picked a new World Series champion. Originally, I said Boston's easily going to win it. Nope. I think Houston's going to beat Boston in the ALCS. American League. There you go. The American League Champions Series. Okay. 5 Notre Dame plays Pittsburgh at 2:30 Eastern Time. 8 Penn State versus Michigan State, 3:30 Eastern Time. 9 Texas versus Baylor at 2:30 Eastern Time. And the team that beat Kentucky Wildcats last week, 22 Texas A&M, will play South Carolina at 2:30 Central Time, which is 3:30 Eastern Time. This is my second game of the day. Of course, the game of the day is 15 Wisconsin versus 12 Michigan. I predicted Wisconsin would win 34-21. Jim Harbaugh struggles against ranked teams on the road. I'm pretty sure they play at the Badgers field. So yeah. But anyway, like I was saying, number 2 Georgia plays 13 LSU today at 3:30 Eastern. That's my second game of the day. SEC matchup, best conference in America when it comes to football. Third matchup of the day, the third best game in my opinion. 7 Washington versus 17 Oregon. You have 2 Western teams, 2 teams out west, who are both really good, and they both want to prove themselves after tough losses. 10 UCF, University of Central Florida. course, they were undefeated last year. Will be going on the road to play Memphis. I think UCF wins this one, but you never know. The West Virginia Mountaineers, led by Will Grier, their Heisman candidate quarterback, will be playing Iowa State, the Cyclones. I say it's an easy win for West Virginia. 16, Miami, Florida, will play Virginia. Virginia, of course, well, first of all, this is ACC, Atlantic Coastal Conference. This ACC matchup. Virginia beat Louisville. Virginia beat Louisville, who lost to Florida State, who Miami beat. So, yeah, that's just a little fact there. And I think Miami gets the win. This game, I think it's going to be more competitive than most think. Missouri and Alabama. I'm not saying Missouri has a chance to win. Alright. What the crap is that? Sorry if that laugh and everything in that little segment just sounded awkward. I thought I saw something, but anyway, Missouri and Alabama. Drew Lock and Tua Tagovailoa will be playing each other today at 7 p.m. Eastern, which is 6 Central, which is who knows Pacific, because I don't know all the time zones. Of course, this is my game of the day. 12 Michigan and 15 Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin wins. I think this game's going to be close and competitive. It's going to be a shootout. 19 Colorado versus unranked University of Southern California, USC. I watched not a documentary, but they call it 30 for 30 on one of Colorado's players. Forgot his name. He was a 3-star recruit. His dad tragically passed away in an incident on the road vehicles, and he grows his dreadlocks out to honor his dad. So if you watch that game and you see him running around with the ball, he plays multiple positions actually. The only position he hasn't played on this Colorado team are tackle, center, and guard. So, yeah. Wyoming and Fresno State, and Boise State and Nevada. Those two games, nobody's really paying attention to them. But I think Boise State and Wyoming get their wins. And that's all the games today. Now, unlike most of the time, I'm actually going to be keeping track of these games and their scores for, I'd say, another maybe 10 minutes or so on this podcast. Of course, it's 7-0 Tennessee Auburn. Ohio State leads Minnesota 3-0 with 9 minutes and 3 seconds left to go in the first quarter. You know what I could have done? I could have made this a live stream on YouTube. Could have made this a live stream. Alright, I want to post this if the live stream does not work out. So if this doesn't make the internet, or if this does make the internet, yeah, if this makes it on my channel, you know why? The live did not work. And yeah, I think it's gonna be it for right now. Just kind of waiting on games to do things. I tell you, I'm very thirsty. I should have prepared, but Ohio State didn't get a touchdown. I like Ohio State's quarterback, Dwayne Haskins. I like him a lot. He seems to be doing it really good. I think he's underrated. He could be Heisman. He's a Heisman candidate for sure, but he could be a Heisman winner. but I think they're going to give it to Tua. Trying to think of other things to talk about right now. Of course, it's going to be things that relate to college football because it is Super Saturday. So hopefully, I can get something to work here. Okay. Let me just do something real quick. Let me look this up. College Alright. I have some college football highlights from last week, week 6. No, I don't think I'm going to play that because you all can't see anything. So, hold on. College football news. No, not betting. News. There you go. Alright. Here's a little video about ESPN. Should Notre Dame be a lock for the playoffs? This ought to be interesting. We have an ad.
Here's the college football playoff predictor from ESPN.
And I'm going to pause that for a second. I'm just going to say, I think the college football playoffs will be like this. 1 Alabama, 2 Ohio State. 4 will be, or 3 will be, three might be Georgia, but no, I would say Oklahoma, but they lost to Texas. I can only think of 3 teams for sure that I can see in the playoffs, and that'd be Ohio State, Alabama, and Notre Dame. Clemson might make it in just because they're Clemson. If UCF stays undefeated, they might sneak in the playoffs. If West Virginia stays undefeated, they might sneak in. But anyway, here's the video. Should Notre Dame be a lock for college football playoffs?
And at Notre Dame, a 63% chance to make the playoff. Now, I'm not asking you, will they? Here's what I'm asking you. Should an undefeated Irish team be a lock to get in the playoff?
Absolutely. An undefeated Notre Dame team is in no matter what. Period.
No, he said should they?
They should be in, and they're in. I'm telling you, sure they're in because an undefeated Notre Dame team is in no matter what.
Well,
period.
I think that's true. I think if they're undefeated, they're in. But the question about should they be, to me, I'm big on getting the best 4 teams in. So not only I'm not big on undefeated teams like he is automatically should be in, because team schedules vary. But I am big on if they continue to look the way they've looked with Ian Book and Dexter Williams, and they look like this is a top 4 team, then absolutely with that record they should
That's
be
the
in.
key for me, the eye test. Do they pass the eye test? And I think at this point, if they keep playing at the level that they've been playing so far with Ian Book at the quarterback position, David, I think that they're one of the 4 best teams. When you look at them play right now, they would deserve to be in, and they should be in based on what they look like.
I agree. I just get tired of people saying like the Notre Dame brand would never be kept out.
Yeah,
that's bullcrap. If you're the best team, if you're one of the 4 best teams, you should be in right now.
That's right.
It's LC.
Next
Should be in.
generation.
Yes, LC. I don't care who it is.
I don't think there's any scenario, especially with a win over Michigan, some of the other wins that they've had, and that win over Stanford, may have win over SC is going to improve. I can't imagine them getting squeezed out. I think they should be in the mix and evaluated, even if they stumble somewhere along the way. But that sort of brings us to the next topic. Do we have a situation with the playoff right now where the pool of viable contenders is too small? I mean, you're talking that people are saying it'll be Alabama or Georgia, Clemson, Ohio State every year. Is the pool too small?
Same teams every year.
No, I mean, I think we'd like to see it bigger, all of us, but it is what it is. I mean, I think you're going to continue to see this. This isn't going anywhere. I think we talked about it before this season started. You're talking about Ohio State every year. You're talking about Clemson and Alabama. Alabama and Clemson play, for God's sakes, every single year. I think you throw Georgia in the mix. You throw Washington, Penn State. 7 teams right there. You're going to get 3 of those teams every single year in the college football playoff from here on out.
Success breeds success.
True.
Rich get richer. True. And that's the way college football is. It's not like NFL parity is penciled in. That's what it's good. It might as well decide it. It's like it is in college football.
Yeah, I'm not questioning that. You have these big brands that are out there, and they seem to always be up there. I'm just saying, as a fan, I was big on. I liked the BCS because it was 2 teams and it kept the regular season relevant. And we went to 4 teams. I was like, 4 is good. I would want to see 6 or 8 when the playoffs started. Right. After watching it for 4 years, I personally would be okay if it expanded to 6 or to 8, just because of what you're talking about. The same teams of Clemson and Alabama and Ohio State, those same 5 or 6 teams. I don't think that personally is healthy for college football when that's the only teams that seem to be in the mix every year.
But they're going to be in anyway.
Yeah.
So they're still going to be in.
I know.
So beat them.
And that was my point. That was the point I wanted to make. I mean, that's what you have to do, because these teams do play their game. Yeah. You have an opportunity to beat these teams.
And there you go. Those are ESPN analyst thoughts. Yeah, that's what they think about Notre Dame football. And I can say I could not agree more, I guess since we are on the topic of football, I can talk about the NFL, even though it is Super Saturday, a college game day special. Kansas City and, New England will be playing each other. And I honestly think that's interesting, because if you know the history behind Bill Belichick and Tom Brady against young quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes, quarterbacks that are under the age of 25, they are 23-0, undefeated in Foxborough. Foxborough, of course, is where the New England Patriots play. That is their home arena, stadium, whatever you want to call it. I want you all just to listen in. I don't know how well you could hear that, but that's my cat. That's my cat just being annoying and purring while I'm trying to do a podcast. I'm gonna switch to topics, I'm gonna go to basketball. I'm sorry. I didn't want to do it, but I have to. Kentucky Wildcats Big Blue Madness was last night, and I'm gonna let y'all listen to the cat while this is loading. Okay, I'm just gonna read you the little thing I wrote on Instagram, about the podcast, or not about the podcast, about, Big Blue Madness. It is college, so I guess I'm not switching the topic up too bad. At least I'm not talking about baseball or hockey, or lacrosse, or soccer, I don't know. Okay, here's my little thing I put on Instagram. I learned a lot about the Kentucky men's basketball team last night. First of all, this team is legit. We can penetrate like always, and now we have Emmanuel Cookley, Tyler Hero, Jamal Baker, Keldon Johnson, and Ashton Hagans slided up from beyond the arc. You can tell this team, unlike the previous teams, you can tell this is a team, unlike the previous teams who had selfish guys who did not want to cooperate. They wanted to be the best, is what I'm trying to say there. You can say I overanalyzed last night, but I know a good team when I see one. I smelled this program's first title in over half a decade. Hashtag Big Blue Madness 18. And, I still think that. This is a special year for the Kentucky Wildcats. Also, sorry you all, we just experienced a minor interruption. I had to extend the length of this. But, yeah, I forgot what I was talking about. So I'm just going to show you this little clip. Listen to it again. That is the sound of me trying to shoot a basketball from literally maybe a foot away. And I'm recording this. And it hits the front of the rim and shoots back and hits me in the face and the camera. And the ball falls to the ground and the camera is angled towards the ground and the video ends there. Yeah. It was not fun. Not fun at all. I'm gonna see if the scores have changed any. Does not look like it has changed any at all. Hold on just a second. Alright. Scroll down. Auburn leads Tennessee 3-0. Vanderbilt leads Florida 7-0. And the Ohio State-Minnesota game is still 3-0. And yeah, that's it for College Game Day. On my Instagram, I will keep you all updated on what is happening. I'll try to post scores regularly, and I think that's gonna be it for right now. Looking at the time here, looks like this is gonna be my longest podcast, or should I say, my first Super Saturday. Thank you all for listening, and I hope you all enjoyed the new intro for Super Saturday. Yeah, that's the new intro. I'm only gonna use it for Super Saturday, and you're about to hear it again because it's about to be the outro. Thank you all for listening, and I'll talk to you all next time. Alright, listen to the cats purring again. Can you hear it? Can you all hear it? Because I certainly can. Alright, thank you all for listening.